Navid, how are you feeling?
Hi. Fine, excellent. Let me start my screen so that I will start my introduction and then. Okay, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evenings. You guys are based on different locations. Okay, so let me first introduce myself. I believe that inshallah this training will be a very good training for all of you guys, and you will learn a lot today to help your businesses move in the right directions. And tomorrow we will have more additional training on digitalization stuff. So let me introduce first myself. My name is Sayyid Navid Hussain. I am from Pakistan. I'm an industrial engineer by profession. I am also executive MBA in marketing and finance. I have 16 years of experience in plant operations management, lead multiple businesses for startups and lean manufacturing, work in the big multinational like Procter & Gamble, Honda, Mondelez, and Obic investment groups in 6 different countries like UK, Nigeria, Morocco, Egypt, Saudi Arabia. I have been engaged in the business excellence program since last 12 years. Implemented integrated work system for P&G, ILCSS for Mondelez, WCOM, Opicon manufacturing excellence programs. I have been leading the WCOM program since last 4 years as a head, and managing digital transformation since last 2 years as well. So this is brief about me as experience. Before I move to the content of the, okay, then the next important pillar is the safety pillar, okay, which talks about that we want to have, all of us want to have the safe business operation. We don't want to have incidents. So this pillar focus and help us to eliminate and reduce the risks of the accidents, okay. And this pillar basically help us with the 2 key important methodologies, accident reduction and the risk reduction. In case you have accident, you use a different methodology, because then you talk about the accident, why it happened, and what you will do to avoid this accident to happen. And second methodology is the risk reduction. In case if you are not having any problem, what you will do to make sure that if you have the risk which can result into accident, you avoid them. So why we are saying, because it's all about our behavior which eventually result into a accident. So if you look at this pyramid, it says that unsafe acts and condition, if you have 3,300,000, this can cause you 3,000 near misses. And these 3,000 near misses can cause you 300 minor accidents. These 300 minor accidents can cause you 3 reportable accidents, meaning that serious accidents. And these 3 can even eventually can result into fatality. This means that if you are having this means that the safety pillar basically focus on the behaviors. We want to make sure that the way people are doing things, everything is safe, and there is no issue in which can cause unsafe condition, and which can cause near miss in terms of possible accident and then accidents. Okay, and very important thing is that the most important thing for us is that we all know that most of the businesses use the PP, but this is a least effective solution. Okay, the best solution is that if we try to eliminate the source of hazard, basically, clear. So or we substitute it with the less harmful, or we put a control which can make sure that we are away from the hazard, or we put some administrative control to change the people behavior or the way the people are working. So the best thing is to eliminate, and the least thing is the PPP. But most of businesses focus on the PP. So this is extremely important, that if we are having this kind of control, there is always a risk that we will be going toward this thing, because this is more behavior based. You cannot 100% control the behavior of the people, because PP means that you will ask people to do some behaviors. They ask them to follow, to use the PPs. So this means there is a risk that they may still be unsafe and act unsafely. Okay. So this pillar also has the 7 steps. Okay. Like all other pillars, the pillar has defined their priorities. They do their assessment.
Navid, how are you in the time?
I would recommend that after this we can take a break, small break.
After this, with this slide, yes?
This slide. After this slide, we will take a break. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, so the first step would be basically an all pillar, like this pillar will also have some KPIs, and we will do an initial risk assessment. And initial assessment means that every business might be here at HIRA, which people use to do the risk assessment of their areas. If we are not having, we should do it. So, and then you know your system, and then you also do, like for example, what you just said, you need to set the KPIs like this. Okay, it's very important that you do this KPI settings, and then you do the assessment of all your areas. Then the second thing is that you go to the basic system to attack the losses for continuous improvement. Losses and continuous improvement by a corrective way. Okay, so what we do, what does it mean by corrective way? That we do the awareness sessions. So we tell the people that, guys, we do the workshops, we call the people and give them awareness about these losses and issues which can cause the serious problems. Okay, so we do the awareness session, guide them about the problem. At the same time, we also start talking about that, okay, we need to build the capability, and we need to build some teams in terms of, you know, who can train the people in the area and keep observing them. Okay, so we build the guiding teams on the safety, and we also making sure that we improve the data collection system. That means that we introduce some mechanism to start having the information about the unsafe condition, near misses and stuff. Okay, so then we, based on the information available, we start doing the analysis, and then we launch some teams to attack some specific losses, and we make it part of our existing PCS. PCS means the performance controls, daily controls. So whatever meetings we are having, we should start talking about the safety over there. If we are having some unsafe condition, we have some near misses, we have some incidents, we should talk this in our meetings, and to make sure that the people are getting aware about this thing. And then we should prepare some OPS and information about these problems and incidents to be shared in the workshops. Okay, so we do the corrective action. This is a corrective. This means that you having the incidents, but you are just telling the people by explaining them that why these things are happening, and so it's a corrective action. So rather preventive. So the next step is the preventive measures. So what we will do to preventive measures? This means that we go and do the risk assessment of the area, and when we identify the potential risk, and we do the safety mapping of the area, mean that we find all the hazards, and we do the tagging. We really make a safety map of the area. We point out that this is this area. If you touch, you can have the pinching issue, and or is this area you touch, the surface is hot. So you do the visual management of your area, identify the potential risk in this area by the safety mapping, which obviously let the people, because if someone is going to touch a machine and he's seeing that there is a hazard sign over there, for sure he will not touch it. So this means that he will be safe by putting this preventive control by putting some visual controls. Then the third thing is which is again preventive, but by physical workplace restoration, which means that whatever we are doing in terms of the activities. So CIL is a cleaning special lubrication which operators do. And for example, the maintenance come and do the maintenance activity, and the quality, for example, come and do some activities. So whatever activities are linked with the touching of the machine, you evaluate all the activities and assess them in terms of the safety risk, and make sure that if there is a risk, we train the people to be careful by explaining them and training them in the best way they need to do this activity. And then we go to the advanced level in which we do more preventive and generic point on the behavior system. Basically, for example, what we do basically, once you do this, you might still have a risk that you have defined some cleaning inspection standard with the safety risk, that how people should do it, but still people are not behaving and following the procedure. So you, in the step 5, you develop a mechanism of the behavior observation and the feedback. So leaders should start going to the floor, and they start observing to the people, and they start giving feedback to the people and why they are not following the standard which we have defined in the step 4. So that helps us to control the behavior, and then obviously we just don't not observe, we also reward the people for the good behaviors, and we punish the people for the bad behavior, because we cannot take the risk on the safety. Then more productive thing is that obviously then, which means that Productive means that if you, for example, you still have some risk related to, for example, which are not common risk, for example, ergonomics and environmental condition, that the people are working in the area, the way they are doing the job, they may have some ergonomic system that which can cause them damage to their body in terms of fatigue, because of fatigue and because of the posture, because of the way they are doing the activities, or environmental condition that whatever area, whatever materials we are using, there is any environmental hazard over there. So how we make sure that we develop, we do something, some improvement in their activities, or we improve the environmental condition to help them do things in much better way. And then the last most important thing is that, which is again the proactive approach, is that when we are doing the early equipment management or early plant management, that early product management. So when we are developing the, making a new site or getting the new machine, or we are making a new product, we assess all the risks at the development stage and make sure that we, whatever standards we develop, we make sure that all the safety risks are mitigated before we start the equipment, or we start making the new product. In this way, you will have very low risk because if the people don't know the new machine, they can create safety incidents. So it's very important that if you are getting new equipment, you use this approach, that you start assessing every single activity of this of the early equipment management or early product management, to make sure that the safety risks are mitigated. Then I'm explaining you one risk reduction route. Like all other pillars, you define in the first step of the route, you define the scope. You define the area you want to. For example, you did the risk assessment of all your area at the plant, and you find one area having the biggest risk. So this means you pick the area, and then you do the assessment in terms of incident, accident, the behavior-based sheets to assess, and you interview the people to assess all the safety data in this area, and then you assess all the activities in the area in terms of cleaning, inspection, lubrication, or whatever maintenance activities we're doing. So we do all the assessment of the area, and then we go back to make sure, again, like all other pillars, do the restoration. In case we have the standard, please make sure that we follow we are following the standard in terms of safety standards linked to the activity, and we do all the tagging of the area in terms of defects and the 5S, and we restore the standards and train the operator. Then third thing is that when you do the restoration, you go and do the reassessment of the area, that when we restore the standard, do we still have the hazards in the area? If we still have the hazard, what kind of hazards are these? And then if for this hazard, do we really have some controls in place in terms of PPs or some other ways? And then you do the scoring of the risk level. You assess all the risk in terms of 3 categories of the severity, frequency, and detectability, and you get the RPN number, risk priority number, to assess that what are the risks and what is the criticality of these things, this risk, how much, what exactly you need to prioritize, and then based on the risk assessment, and you evaluate that do we really have the good control in place. If we don't have the control, we implement the control, which can help us reduce the risk. So you can then you recalculate the risk again. But if you still have after this existing control, then you do the Pareto analysis of the risk, and then you go deep into the risk to understand that what are the reasons to have this risk and what can we do to eliminate this risk by the countermeasures and actions. And then you develop the new standards and implement the standards, and you train the people on the new behaviors and approaches. And then you recalculate the risk after implementing all the countermeasures to make sure that the risk has been reduced. Then again, standardization of whatever we have done. So once we implement the solution, we keep assessing our area by assessing the conditions of by behavior observation system, and discussing everything in our meeting. Even we display on the board our unsafe condition and everything in case there is something. And we also make sure that it's part of our PCS, our performance control, our daily meeting discussion. So guys, I think we can take a break now. And then after the break, we can continue with the remaining pillars. And,
okay, so